Hello and welcome. Yes, we are live. Hello and welcome to Cricket Adda Presents Cricket Addicts episode 8. Once again, I will say consistency is the key. Advait Lachke, who was busy last week attending the Ambani wedding in the presence of Jay Shah, is back. And to be honest, he was also going to be part of the ICC meeting, which is going to be held in Sri Lanka, but unfortunately he has some other businesses which are pending. That's why he is back with us. He gets paid more here
Yes.
than what he does in the ICC board meeting. So definitely we have got Advait back. Advait, there is a lot to discuss this week, even though there wasn't a lot of cricket, just the MLC and the England West Indies series. But the big 2, 3, 4, 5 announcements by the Indian selectors. Not only that, we have also the big news that Abhishek Nair and Ryan Tendoskate have been appointed as assistant coaches. So Kolkata Knight Riders basically has no coaches right now because everybody is coming to India. We'll get to the point, but let's just quickly discuss the England West Indies series as well. Last week, James Anderson announced his retirement, or let me correct myself, was forced to announce his retirement and ended with 704 test wickets. Unfortunately, couldn't go past Shane Warne. But we have to move on and talk about the second test, which is in a tight position right now. I think we just discussed before starting the stream. West Indies have got a 41 run lead. Ollie Pope scored a fantastic century in the first innings, along with 50s from Ben Stokes and Ben Duckett. Whereas for West Indies, we had Kevin Hodge score his first Test century, along with uh, Mackenzie, who got a 50, and Joshua De Silva got 82. First thoughts on the Test match: looks in a tight position, even though England might have just washed out that lead as we speak.
Yeah, definitely. Because yesterday the way West Indies were batting, it was quite great, especially after I guess three quick wickets. Not quick, means I guess they were around 100 or
Yeah,
124 quick.
80, 85, 90
Yes.
for three. Yeah,
Then there was that 175 mammoth partnership
correct.
between Hodge and Mackenzie,
Yeah.
especially considering both are quite young. So yeah, that will help them boost their confidence because after such a bad defeat in the first match, it was quite great to see two youngsters step up and rise to the occasion. Then there was Joshua De Silva. I guess he usually plays well with the tailenders. Yeah, he again showed it class by scoring that 82 not out or 83 not out. Some 18 odd he did score. So yeah, all in all, it was a great comeback from the West Indies for taking a 41 runs lead. But yeah, they should be quite disappointed because yesterday they were 350, 360 all for five, and now just adding 100 runs to their overnight score, they might have just scored at 50, 60 extra runs because they need to bat second. And the way this England team bats, you can say that they would declare by the end of today, or max by tomorrow's first session. So West Indies will have to bat five sessions. So they do know that West Indies will have to chase the target. They can't just play out the overs. So considering that, another 50 run cushion would have been better. But still, West Indies would be the happiest out of the two.
Yeah, let's dissect this down. So basically, England are currently 43 for 1 as we speak in just 7.2 overs. Zach Crawley got out to that unfortunate run out of the non strikers end. But as you say, there are like around 55 more overs remaining in the day. Not 55, sorry, 48 overs more remaining in the day. So if England play at 5 runs per over, which they do, 240 runs, another 240, they're already 40. So right now they have a lead of 3, 4 runs, so they just got into lead. So by the end of the day's play, they might be in a 240, 250 run lead. And as you say, another session tomorrow, another 100 runs, 350. That should be more than enough for England to declare and then try and bowl out West Indies. Is that how you are seeing this test match pan out?
350, I guess England could declare even on 240. They are that they are that sort of team. They just need a total that
Yeah.
they think that they can defend. Even sometimes, I guess they might declare thinking that even yes, we have got 150. I guess there will come a day that they will say I have got 150 and there are just 50 overs in the bank. Let's just put the carrot to the rabbit, and we might try to win the match. England is that type of team. They just never to draw the matches. So it's possible, yes, but considering that 150 overs, 350, 350, 400. England will throw the carrot tomorrow in
Yeah,
150 overs.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think what you said absolutely makes sense, especially under Ben Stokes and Brendan McCallum. He has said that we might declare without batting if we want to get a result. So you can't rule out them declaring at 150. Not today, not in this game, because there is a significant amount of time remaining. So as you said, 350, 400, whatever they feel comfortable with the amount of overs to get West Indies bowled out is what they will look at. But at this point, I still think England, I mean, West Indies would be happy with that lead, but the way they are bowling and the way England are batting, it seems that the lead has already been washed out. So you never know, the game might turn in a few sessions, isn't it?
I guess if it was 5 years back, 450 plus score would have been enough for a
Yeah,
team to say that we are not at least losing. We will at least draw the match. If not, we are winning.
yeah.
But with the mindset this England team is carrying, I guess even after scoring 465, West Indies will might lose the match. Considering they will have to compulsory, they are forced to come out and bat fourth and score another 300 350 runs. Considering if even one of the players from England score 100, so I guess you can't say anything about the team.
Yeah, I think what you said makes sense again. That score after scoring 450, there is a high chance that you win a test match. But in this case, it seems that West Indies might just fall short. But you never know. Somebody like Alzari Joseph or Shamar Joseph gets his bowling going, then West Indies might stand a chance. They need to restrict England below 250. At max below 300 if they want to stand a chance to win this test match. But just quickly on the England batting again, we saw what they have been doing over the last couple of years, which they call it as baseball, which is now a word in the dictionary, is what I heard. But I think it's mostly around in England where the ball doesn't swing these days, because they have made the pitches pretty flat. They have got the Duke's ball in such a way that it swings only for a certain amount of time, and for the most of the period it's a flat pitch. So I think they have changed the conditions in such a way that their batters can make amends. But at the same time, when they have traveled overseas, as we saw in India, they did start off the Baswell way, but towards the end of the series, you could see that they came under pressure and couldn't get it going. So what do you see a way ahead for this England side? Because they keep talking about Ashes 2025. Do you think this batting lineup is capable of putting up 400 runs on the board in Australia against the likes of Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins, and Lyon?
I don't think that they would be scoring that 400 there, but even if they are able to score that 350, 370, around 350, 370 in Australia, they would be pretty happier considering it's Australia. And Ashes is always a high pressure tournament, so 350, 375 runs. Even if Australia score around that same 350, 375, England batting first, Australia batting second, means basically Australia batting fourth, England and scoring another 250, 300 in the third innings. It will get interesting considering. But I see the only issue here is that the English bowlers don't are not exciting. Yes, Gus Atkinson was great in the first Test match, but come the second Test match, he was not bowling that good on a serious note. He wasn't looking that threatening at all. The Because yesterday I was looking, Gus Atkinson wasn't looking that good. Mark Wood is not the best Mark Wood that he was, I guess, around 2 to 3 years back. He's not. Yes, he's bowling with that pace of 140, 150, but he isn't looking threatening. Anderson has retired. Broad has retired. So I guess there's a bit of inexperience in that bowling lineup. So batting wise, I do think that they will continue with that baseball, and it might provide them the required uh, result that they need. But I guess the main issue that they will be facing is their bowling, because they do have some pretty new faces in that camp. There's no one experienced except Mark Wood, and with the injury prone nature of Mark Wood, you can't say that he's that he will give you those 4 or 5 that 5 test matches on a trot in that Australia
Yeah,
series.
I think bowling does become important in Australia, because Australia won't play the baseball way. They will grind their way out and score 400, 500 if possible. And if England doesn't have the right bowlers, then you might be looking at three Steve Smith hundreds with two Usman Khwaja double centuries and a couple of Manas Labuscagnes 83s and all that stuff. So
Even that's
basically,
said.
sorry, and Travis Head and Mitchell Marsh. So that's a gun batting lineup. So you need the right bowlers, as Advait mentioned. So Mark Wood will be key. If somehow they can get Jofra Archer test fit, which is a long way away, but Jofra Archer test fit in Australia with his pace could be a threat. Apart from that, Gus Atkinson needs to be the guy who needs to step up.
I guess Archer last played a test match in India.
Yes,
Uh,
2021, when he
yes,
played in that
he
pink ball
wasn't looking
test.
threatening.
Yeah, yes, in Ahmedabad. So,
Yes, he wasn't
yeah, and
looking threatening
yeah,
at
he
all.
wasn't looking threatening. And the fact is that he's still not test fit. So that is
Yes,
also a long way away. And as you say, 5 match test series in Australia against Australia with the Australian crowd going against you, it's not going to be easy. And the
and
last,
even in the
yeah,
T20 World Cup, he was playing. Archer wasn't looking threatening there at all. Yes, he
yeah,
was getting wickets, but he wasn't
mhm,
looking threatening.
yeah,
Players were smashing him. He
yeah,
isn't the Archer of old, especially the Archer which played the Ashes where Labuschagne I guess debuted.
yeah,
Yeah, he was the
definitely,
yes, he was there. He was the bowler to be threatened of. Players were frightened of him. I still remember the bouncer which he bowled to Manas Labuschagne I guess on the first or the second ball. He just
yeah.
got down and he came up. That was the sheer pace that there was that sheer threatening of Jofra Archer. But I don't look. But I can't see that at this point of time. So even I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
Yes,
correct. I think the 2020, 2019, 2020, and
yes,
2021 were the 3 years where Jofra Archer looked at his best, especially playing for Rajasthan Royals as well. If you remember 2020, he was the
yes.
MVP, bowling in the power play, always got a
Smashing
couple of wickets,
sixes.
and then smashing sixes towards the end as well. So that Jofra Archer is what England would need. If they can get him test fit for the Ashes, then we are talking. Else, I think it's a pretty
But
straightforward
I
result.
just
Yeah.
don't think what is missing from Archer because he's
Mhm.
bowling around at 140 mark,
Yeah.
145 mark.
Mhm.
He's still bowling around at 145 mark, but somehow I don't think that he's that threatening because
Yeah.
he was never a 150 155 bowler. He was
Yeah.
always a 145 150
Yeah.
bowler, which is also now. But I guess he has lost that consistency or that swing. What's that? But something's missing in Jofra Archer because he's not looking that threatening at all. I guess Markwood is more threatening than Markwood will be more threatening than Jofra Archer.
Yeah, I think at this point of time that's the case. As you said, Jofra Archer, that something is missing. Probably the
Yes.
oomph or whatever we talk about, like just the fear factor we could say, because he was coming after a long time. Probably even the new batters were trying to smash him. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Jofra Archer a long way ahead. Probably right now they might look at him to get in the ODI format and then slowly into the test format, but still it's a long way away. So it looks difficult at this moment. Whether he will play the Ashes or not is a question mark. Now let's move to some Indian cricket news, and there are a lot of announcements. First of all, the India versus Sri Lanka ODI and T20I series starts on 27th July, which is just a week away. The team will travel on 22nd, but who is part of the team? Let's get into that. Let's start with a T20I squad, I would say. First of all, the big news is that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have made themselves available for the ODI series on the insistence of Gautam Gambhir is what I got.
Yes.
While Hardik
So,
Pandya asked for a rest. Yes, yes, Advait.
so you can't say they have made. I guess they were made to be available.
Yeah.
They're forced to be available.
Yeah, because the news we had was that both of them will not play the ODI series. As it is, they were not part of the T20I series after announcing the retirement. They would have got a 1 month break, because the next match India plays after this series is 19th of September against Bangladesh, a test match at home. But now they are available for this 3 match ODI series. So yeah, let's get into the squad because there is a lot to discuss. So, first of all, the squad is on the screen. The first name is shocking, isn't it? Not that he's
Yes,
in the squad,
definitely.
it's C beside him. Surya Kumar Yadav is the new T20 international captain of India. And even the second name, Shubman Gill, vice captain, has already gone down. But Shubman Gill, vice captain, Yashasvi Jaiswal obviously keeps his place in the side. Rinku Singh makes after the exclusion from the T20 World Cup. Rian Parag keeps his place after the Zimbabwe series. The two keepers, Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson, will discuss who plays. Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya is the big talking point. He was the captain before Rohit Sharma was announced as captain. for the T20 World Cup. He was the vice captain for the T20 World Cup. Hardik Pandya is now just a player. That's the big shocking news. We'll come to that. Before that, Shivam Dubey, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar. Washington Sundar has kept his place after the Zimbabwe series, which makes sense because Jadeja has announced his retirement. Ravi Bishnoi will play. Kuldeep Yadav seems to have got rest, and Arshdeep Singh, Khalil Ahmed, Mohammad Siraj, the three pacers. No place for Avesh Khan and Mukesh Kumar, who had a pretty decent Zimbabwe series, whereas Jasprit Bumrah obviously deserves rest. Advait, let's straight away get into the point. Hardik Pandya, why he's not the captain after being the vice captain in the T20 World Cup? It looked pretty much certain that after Rohit Sharma announced his retirement, that it has to be Hardik Pandya who will take India to the 2026 T20 World Cup. Not take India, it's in India. So he will be the defending captain. It seemed, but it doesn't seem like that. Surya Kumar Yadav at the age of 33 is the full-time T20I captain, is what I understand. Your first thoughts? Is it unfair on Hardik Pandya?
Yeah, definitely. Before the start of World Cup, Hardik Pandya was the captain for Indian side. We were
Yes.
expecting that either it would be Hardik Pandya or it would be Rohit Sharma before Jayasha announced. It wasn't sure that who will be the captain.
Yes.
After that, Mumbai Indians suddenly say that Hardik is our captain.
Yeah.
So it seemed that Hardik Pandya might be the new captain even for Team India. But
Mhm.
then Jayasha says that Rohit Sharma is the captain and Hardik
Mhm.
would be his deputy.
Yes.
So we were like, okay, there's no Rohit Sharma keeps his place as a captain. There's no issue. But then Rohit Sharma announces his retirement after the T20 World Cup victory. And it was expected that Hardik should be the captain, considering that he was his deputy in the T20 World Cup.
Exactly.
But come the second T20 series after World Cup, there's Hardik Pandya is in the team, but he's not the captain. Okay, he's not even the vice captain. I don't think how the message would have been conveyed to Hardik Pandya because you were the captain before World Cup, you were the vice captain in the World Cup, and now you're neither the captain nor the vice captain. Considering even the captain has retired from this format, so it was expected that Hardik would be the captain because he's a captain who has won the IPL, who has come second, who has come as the runners up in the IPL in just his 2 years stint as IPL captain for Gujarat. Yes, it was a forgettable year for Mumbai Indians as a captain with such a star-studded lineup, but it can happen once in a while. After such a glory, it was bound to happen because the team environment was not good. Whatever the management would have said, but it was quite obvious that that a team environment for MI was not good. So it was kind of expected that the players. It seemed that the players were not having that mutual respect, or there was not a lot of talking going around. But I do still think that Gautam Gambhir and Ajit Agarkar could have just uh, had more faith on Hardik Pandya as the captain because he has proved that he could be a great captain. I don't think that India had lost a series under his captaincy. He was winning the T20 series when there was no Rohit Sharma. Even before T20 World Cup, when Sky and Rohit both were there in a team, Hardik was the captain and Sky wasn't the captain. So it was quite obvious that Hardik had to be the captain. And if not at least captain, he had to be the vice captain. But Shubman Gill is the vice captain. I just can't understand how this message has been conveyed. And we even did not got a press conference after that. To
Yeah. Exactly. I think Advait summed it up absolutely perfectly. He talked about Hardik's extremely successful stint as a Gujarat Titans captain. He talked about the Mumbai Indians stint, which was definitely forgettable, but at the same time, you have to, as Advait mentioned, that the team environment was not great, and it's not entirely Hardik Pandya's fault. In fact, it's not Hardik Pandya's fault. He had just come back. Mumbai Indians asked him whether he would come back. He said, "Yeah, I would come back, but I want the captaincy," which is fair because he was the Gujarat Titans captain. And then the Mumbai Indians players didn't take it well, and as we know, the season they finished last. But see, one season you can't decide whether a player is or a captain is good or not based on one season. There are teams who have finished last, but the next year they have won the IPL as well, or in fact come in the top four. So one season can't decide whether captain is good or not. And not only that, Hardik has had two good seasons as a captain in the IPL. In fact, they would have won back to back titles if a couple of balls could have gone their way in the last over in that famous final at Ahmedabad. This is definitely surprising. This is something which is going to be a difficult conversation, or was a difficult conversation, for the likes of Ajit Agarkar and Gautam Gambhir with Hardik Pandya. Because, and it's not like he had a bad World Cup. He had the best possible World Cup, and he bowled that final over defending 16 runs against South Africa. He was there with the bat, he was there with the ball, he was there in the field. He did everything possible, and still he hasn't got India captaincy. So that comes as a huge surprise. Now the funny part is that Rohit Sharma will play under, if Rohit Sharma and Surya Kumar Yadav are retained by the Mumbai Indians, Rohit Sharma plays under Hardik Pandya at Mumbai Indians. Surya Kumar Yadav plays under Hardik Pandya at Mumbai Indians. Hardik Pandya plays under Surya Kumar Yadav in the T20I format, and Hardik Pandya plays under Rohit Sharma in the ODI format, because the ODI captain has not changed. But your thoughts on Surya Kumar Yadav has been appointed as the full-time T20 captain. As you mentioned, he had played under Hardik Pandya when Rohit Sharma was not playing T20 internationals. But when Hardik Pandya was not available for that Australia T20I series and the South Africa T20I series, Surya Kumar Yadav was the captain. I think they won 5 games out of the 7 games which he captained, which is really good. At the age of 33, definitely you're looking at a 2 year plan with Surya as captain for the 2026 T20 World Cup, isn't it? And also, do you think there is a hand of Gautam Gambhir in this? Because we all know Gautam Gambhir had made Surya Kumar Yadav the vice captain back in 2014 when he was part of the Kolkata Knight Riders. So, yeah, just a thought on that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I guess it would be would have been a more of Gautam Gambhir's call, because we know that Gautam Gambhir has been a more of a dominant coach. Because even if you look at the coaching staff, he has changed completely the coaching staff. He has brought the Kolkata Knight Riders coaching staff. So it would have been more of a Gautam Gambhir's call that if you are making me the coach, just give me the team, just give me the coach, and give me a free hand. I would like who will be the captain. I would like who will be the vice captain, because if you even see even if you see the vice captain is Shubman Gill,
Yeah,
no one would have expected a Shubman Gill to be
Shubman
the
Gill to be
vice
the vice
captain,
captain at this age.
because
Yeah,
because you do have the likes of Rishabh Pant even in the squad. If there's not Hardik Pandya, there's Rishabh
yeah,
Pant, who has been the captain of Delhi Capitals. There's
yes,
Hardik Pandya, who's the captain of Mumbai Indians. So there are two captains who are captaining their IPL team, and captaining an IPL team is a no joke, because you are captaining 11 best players who are playing around the globe. So if you are able to if you are able to captain them, if you are able to win the trust of our management that you are good enough as a captain, and considering that Shubman Gill has captain for just 1 year for Gujarat Titans, that was also because Hardik Pandya was not with Gujarat Titans. He had left
yes,
them, and the only possible candidate for them who could have captain was Shubman Gill. So Shubman Gill was given the captaincy. It was not as if he was the first choice. He was the choice because Hardik Pandya had left he had left the team. Sky also plays under Hardik Pandya's captaincy in the IPL team. I guess Sky has captained the Mumbai side. He has captained India for 70 20s, as you had mentioned earlier. But I guess it would be tough, because considering the transition that would go on following this, because I don't think as I mentioned earlier, how you are conveying this to Hardik Pandya, because he would just ask what have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? I have won one IPL. I have I have come runners up in the second IPL which I had played. Yes, it was a bad season, but that was a trade. It might come, I guess, and that's what Mumbai Indians are famous for. They will, I guess, in 2020 or 2021, they came seventh, second last, and then they won the next season. So
yeah,
that happens with Mumbai Indians. You can't just drop him for one bad IPL season. You just can't drop Hardik Pandya for one bad IPL season. Yes, Sky deserve. I won't say deserve, but Sky is a great player. We know that Sky will keep his place in any T20I team that he plays,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because he's the number one T20I batsman. But just based on this credential, I don't think that you can give someone captaincy who has not captain for the franchise. That's just my point. If you are not good enough to captain your franchise team, then I don't think that you are good enough to captain the Indian team.
Yeah, I think that's a point which Kevin raised in our group as well. That can a non-franchisee captain be the Indian team captain, which was the case with Rohit Sharma, but Rohit Sharma was the captain before, so you know that he has the credentials, and we have the MI fan to solve all the questions, to give the answers to all the questions. Mr. Shabby has joined with a Rohit Sharma photo in the background, who is retired from T20 internationals. And the big news, obviously, Shabby, is that Surya Kumar Yadav is the new full-time captain. We haven't even touched on Shubman Gill. Yes, Advait mentioned briefly that he has been appointed as the vice captain. But firstly, your thoughts on the fact that Hardik Pandya is not only not the captain, but he's not also the vice captain. He has been completely removed from leadership duties, which I think is absolutely unfair with him. What do you think, Shabby?
Probably yes. Could have been given some more chances, given that he was a vice captain in World Cup as well, and we have won that World Cup as well. So it kind of gets unfair on his behalf that suddenly he is getting removed from the captaincy just because the coaching staff and everything is. I mean, the coaching staff and all the support staff also is new. Not sure how much say they have in the captaincy and the team decisions, because I thought the selection committee is the one that
Mm-hmm.
decides the captains
Mm-hmm.
and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how the coaching staff related to that, but we know the coach, the dominance of the coach, the new coach that is joining. So obviously he would have his say in everything, whether it's related or not. And Surya Kumar has always been. I mean, he's definitely been a strong contender, given that he's world number of T20 batsman. So I mean, nothing against Surya Kumar getting captaincy, but the second thing about removing the vice captaincy also from Pandya's credentials, that is also definitely a really bad thing for him. I mean, kind of downgrading for him, even though he's performed so well in the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's come to the vice captain point. I think Shabby as well mentioned that it's unfair on Hardik Pandya. If not captain, he should have at least remained the vice captain because, as you said, India, he not only performed well, but India won the T20 World Cup. It was not like it was a horrible performance or anything. But yeah, now coming to the next point, Shubman Gill as vice captain. He's also the vice captain in the ODI squad, which is a pretty clear indication. And I won't be surprised if he becomes the vice captain in the Test squad as well, because it's a pretty clear indication that the selectors mm, are seeing this guy as a future all format player and a future all format captain for India. Advait, is it too early? Shubman Gill, just 24. Yes, he has shown all his talent. We know he's a generational talent. Probably will be the next big superstar of Indian cricket. But at the age of 24, do you see a bit too early with some more senior players around? Probably they could have groomed him, and then in the next 2 years, you could have seen him be the vice captain and then the captain in turn. What do you think, Advait?
I just got a clip from somewhere of Gautam Gambhir. I guess
Mm-hmm.
it was from 2000. It was after 2008 CB series.
Mm-hmm.
I guess before the 2008 CB series, Gautam Gambhir was the vice captain, and
Correct.
after the 2008 CB series, Virat Kohli was made the vice captain.
Yeah.
And Gautam Gambhir was the one who had raised the question, why was I dropped from the vice captaincy role?
Yeah.
And Virat Kohli was around 24, 25. He wasn't that
Yeah.
mature. And as soon as Gautam Gambhir comes back, he does the same with Shubman Gill. Hardik Pandya
Yeah.
has been removed from the vice captaincy
Just
role.
just a correction. It was the 2012 CB series, but yeah,
Okay, yes,
yeah,
2012.
yeah,
Yes, so 2012 CB series.
yeah.
And as soon as Gautam Gambhir comes back, he removes Hardik Pandya and just brings in Shubman Gill as the vice captain candidate. I before this move, I wasn't pretty sure that he was gonna be our number one number one choice for T20I opener. But with this move, I guess it's pretty clear that he's gonna be our number one choice for in for opener in T20 and in ODIs now.
Yeah, I think Shabby, there is an important aspect which Advait touched on. We saw the Zimbabwe series. India played four openers. Does Shubman Gill guarantee a position in the T20I 11? You have the likes of Ruturaj Gaikwad and Abhishek Sharma who are not in the squad, which is again a surprise. I think Jaiswal definitely makes the squad, makes the 11. He was part of the T20 World Cup squad. So he is the first choice. Being a left hander as well is an advantage. But now with Shubman Gill being named as the vice captain, you are indirectly telling others that you don't have a spot in the 15 and in the 11, because Shubman Gill is definitely playing all matches, isn't it, Shabby?
Yeah, correct. I mean, vice captaincy does guarantee you that. Just one thing that is coming into my mind, because this series is not as important, because this series is maybe something, there's a practice matches or something like that. Can it be the chance that just for this series he has been named as a vice captain, or they are really looking into him as a long-term vice captaincy or something like? Because vice captain can be removed here and there. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
necessary to have the vice captain, right?
Yeah.
It's just for it can be temporary as well. So obviously it will depend on his performance. That whether he performs well throughout the whatever matches he is getting, whether it's ODI, whether it's T20s. So that will definitely be depend on performance, because as you rightly said, it is too early. It is too early to cement his position in any of the format. I will say any of the format, not T20 one day. I don't think he has cemented his position in any of the format, not even tests. So it's too early to cement his position, but this vice captaincy can be a trigger point, or it can be a incentive for him to perform really well and do cement his position. Because really, if they talk about talent and if they talk about ability, he might be better than others, whatever names you are talking about. Others might be a skill based, or other might be maybe the condition based, like they are left handers or they are very aggressive. But if you talk about overall talent, Shubman Gill arguably is the better than others who are the contenders. So because of that, they want to give him more chances. They want to incentivize him more. That you have to perform well, you have to prove yourself, then you can cement your position as well as the vice captaincy.
Yeah, I think Shabby makes an important point there. Probably he's just a vice captain for this series because India is known for changing vice captains every second game, if not every second series. So that could be something. But at the same time, as we said, he's also named the vice captain in the ODI series, where there were talks that KL Rahul might lead if Rohit Sharma is unavailable, and suddenly Gill is now the vice captain. So that is probably a sign that they are looking at him as the future leader. Advait also, just yes, Shabby, if you want to touch in here. uh,
Just because you took the name of KL Rahul, I don't think KL Rahul and captaincy go hand in hand together.
I think LSG owner also agrees with you. But yeah, I think Shabby also made a point that arguably Shubman Gill is the more talented player. I think on the eye as well, it's pretty much evident that the amount of talent he possesses, the amount of time he has against the fast bowlers, he looks good against spinners as well. Otherwise, but I think there are. I was analyzing all these four openers, and I think Jaiswal obviously, with his aggressive intent and consistency, I think he should be at the top. He should definitely make this 11. Among the rest three, I think Abhishek Sharma is a bit similar to Yashasvi Jaiswal, where he will go hammer and tongs from ball one, whereas Gill and Gaikwad are pretty similar in their approach. They might not be the most aggressive in the power play, but they like to play the long innings and are definitely more consistent than, say, an Abhishek Sharma. Gaikwad, in whatever limited opportunities he has got, he has an average of around 39, I think, and a strike rate of 140 plus for India, has got a T20 100. In fact, all four openers have got a T20 100. So, Gill versus Gaikwad, is there any merit in that discussion, or you think Gill definitely is above Gaikwad in the T20I format?
As of now, Gill is above Gaikwad just for a simple reason that Gill was playing 2023 ODI World Cup. Gill was in the reserves for T20I 2024 World Cup. So
Yeah,
if there's a guy who is in the reserves, and when your two openers, and when your two openers, I guess, are over, when your two openers are retired, so it was pretty evident that Jaiswal and Gill are gonna be their future here at least for some time, consider at least for 3-4 series. And if Gill fails to completely fails to perform in this 3 to 4 series, then there was a chance for Gaikwad. Yes, but Gill wasn't looking the best in the Zimbabwe series. He wasn't scoring runs. Yes, he's the leading run scorer, but you can't just miss the point that he had played all the five T20 matches as an
correct.
opener.
Yeah,
While Abhishek Sharma played the first two as openers, then Jaiswal came. He was demoted to three. Gaikwad is demoted to three, then 2 point out of the and then out of the team. Uh, I guess that's why Gill outperformed both of them. But still, just considering on the number of matches that that Gill played before 2024 T20 World Cup, I guess it was pretty evident that Gill would be the number one choice along with Jaiswal ahead of Abhishek Sharma and Ruturaj for at least for the next 3 to 4 series. And then Gambhir and the staff would look how the things go and consider Abhishek Sharma and Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Yeah, I think Advait makes a nice point there that at least give them 3-4 series. I think it was pretty straightforward. Gill was in the reserves, so they have just followed the pecking order. Jaiswal and Gill as openers. Let's wait, see how they perform for at least three T20I series, let's say, and then they can make a decision on whether they want Gaikwad, whether they want Abhishek Sharma. Shabby, just quickly, the rest of the squad looks pretty obvious. Apart. From no, I think it's pretty obvious. I think Rinku Singh definitely makes the squad now that he missed in the T20 World Cup. Shivam Dubey versus Rinku Singh, it could be a debate. I think if there is a spot up for grabs in the 11, and the wicketkeeper spot it could be up for grabs because Pant didn't like have a great World Cup. He started off well with a couple of good scores, especially against Pakistan and then against Bangladesh, but then towards the semi-final and finally tapered off. So does that seem an opportunity for Sanju Samson, or you think Sanju Samson might have to warm the benches like he does?
Yeah, I mean, what is the number for Sanju Samson, right? We don't have the spot for him. I'm
Mhm.
not sure. Pant will be definitely playing over Sanju Samson.
Mhm.
And because you can't have two keepers actually, because both of them kind of have similar approach. They are not like
Yeah,
bad hitters over
yeah.
like Shivam Dubey or Hardik Pandya. So and also like Rinku Singh, they are not finishers as well. So that's the problem. I mean, Pant and Samson would definitely be head-on competition, as we had Dhoni versus Dinesh Karthik in our times.
I guess it was just Dhoni then.
Yeah.
That was so deep.
I mean, Dinesh Karthik played in between,
I mean,
and then
yeah, he was in
he's
and out.
retired early as well. He's retired early. He's already the coach of RCB. Dhoni still keeps playing, so I
Yes,
don't
I
think that's
guess
a
DK and Parthiv both were just unlucky that they were born in the era of MSD.
yeah,
Because in any other era, DK would have made to the Indian side
yeah.
because
Yeah,
he provided the same skill set as of Dhoni. He was a finisher. He used to keep wickets, so he just can't make the 11
and
just because of
if
that.
you talk about longevity of a player, I guess PK would only come second after James Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, he made his debut in 2004, and he
Yeah,
was in the team up until the 2022 T20 World Cup. Famously got out in that Pakistan game where Ashwin had to come in and score that run. But now that the T20I squad discussion is done, let's move on to the ODI squad. And unfortunately, India have only 6 ODIs before the Champions Trophy: three against Sri Lanka, three against England in January, as we have the Champions Trophy in February. And Advait has already given us the inside information that India is definitely not traveling to Pakistan. He himself decided to travel to Pakistan, but even that is cancelled now, considering the issues, security issues. Advait is not feeling safe, then definitely the Indian team won't be safe. But yeah, Shabby, moving on to the ODI squad, I think Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli made themselves available. As Advait mentioned, were forced to make themselves available once Gautam Gambhir was named as the coach. KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer keep their spot as number 4 and number 5. The top three is obviously Sharma, Gill, Kohli. Pant makes a comeback in the ODI squad after that accident. He hasn't played an ODI for a long time, and this is the first ODI India play after his comeback in the Indian team. But at the same time, again, Sanju Samson has been removed from the ODI squad after scoring a century against South Africa in his last ODI. Shivam Dubey probably a cover for Hardik Pandya. The three spinners are Kuldeep Yadav, Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel. Rian Parag for some reason makes the ODI squad, which is something which I didn't understand. And in Pacers, they are giving opportunities to the likes of Khalil Ahmed and Harshit Rana, whereas Siraj keeps his place and Arshdeep Singh will be back in the ODI squad after a while. First thought, Shabby, what are the exclusions? What are the surprising inclusions for you?
I mean, obviously, has to be Riyan Parag first. Not
Mhm.
sure about the how big innings he can play because I don't know the stats about his Vijay Hazare or something. But in IPL also I don't see him like scoring more than 50 very frequently. But in ODIs, 50 is also not enough generally. You need longer innings, and I don't know if he is capable of playing that. So I'm not sure how I mean how out of nowhere how Riyan Parag came up there. Shivam Dube, yeah, you made a perfect point that if he's a cover for Hardik Pandya, and if Hardik Pandya was your first choice in the playing 11 before he got injured, then Shivam Dube should also play right away because the
Yeah, yeah,
number six or number seven spot I guess we are talking about.
yeah. Six,
If you
number six.
want,
Yeah.
if you like 100% want Hardik Pandya like player there just to strengthen your bowling as well, then you have to have giving chances as well. It's not like you are playing then Pant and who else is there? KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, you are playing all of them, and then you're not just having not just creating the backup for Hardik Pandya. Eventually, you're then all dependent on Hardik Pandya himself whenever he comes back, and we are not even sure whether he will play the ODI format. So if you want to groom that type of player, okay, you have selected him right now, then also let him play. We can just try once. It's anyway weak opponent, so you can just try whether he can ball, whether he can play a bit longer innings, or maybe whether he can play the finisher innings, which was expected to play by Surya Kumar Yadav in the World Cup final, and he couldn't.
I don't remember that match, unfortunately.
So exactly the role that we're talking about, and if Hardik Pandya is injured, you need to groom some other player of that kind for that particular spot because we really lack that kind of player after the retirement of the legendary number seven.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think we had a brief discussion on the WhatsApp group saying that who will play at number six because I think top five select themselves if India go with a full front first 11, then Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul. That's your top five. Number six is up for debate, and I think that Shivam Dube is a cover for Hardik Pandya. And as Shabby mentioned, if he is, he should play. But you said that they might just try and play in or sneak in Rishabh Pant at number six. Do you think that is going to happen? And if that is going to happen, Shabby makes a good point that when will you have a backup for Hardik Pandya? Then in the ODI format, India found that wanting in the ODI World Cup as well.
I said I wish that it will happen, that it could happen
Okay.
because Shivam Dube is not a finisher. He is not a
Yeah.
guy who can come in and because the guy who will play at six, he has to play pace. And
Hmm.
Shivam Dube was picked in a T20 World Cup because he was a spin hitter.
Spin hitter. Yeah.
So yes, so you can't expect a spin hitter to come in at number six and then play all pace and give you that power and give you that finishing role that you are expecting of Shivam
Hmm.
Dube.
Hmm.
If you want Shivam Dube, then ask him to come in at number four or number five. But number four is for Shreyas Iyer, who is
Yes.
also a spin hitter.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you can have two spin hitters in your team who are batting at number four and number six. Either have your spin hitters at number three and number four, but the number three spot for Virat Kohli. So you can't have Shreyas Iyer at three and Shivam Dube at four. So if you can't have Shreyas Iyer and Shivam Dube at three and four, then I don't see them both playing in the same team. Yes, you can try this stuff against Sri Lanka because Sri Lankan pacers won't trouble Shivam Dube that much. But against the likes of Aussies and the England or African team, Shivam Dube, I don't think he can play in at that number six spot because he's not a pace hitter. He can't hit likes of Ferguson or Archer or the likes of Enric Norkia, Rabada type players in the death coming after 40 42nd over where there would be 8 or 10 overs of pace and you are asking Shivam Dube to just go bonkers from ball one against pacers. I don't see that happening. So yes, I think they could have just tried in someone like Rinku Singh or someone at that spot because he could have been a better guy at number six because we know that he can play pace better than Shivam Dube or someone like Rishabh Pant at that spot. So they could have just tried him, but he's not picked. So there's no point in raising that question. As Shabby mentioned, that's a great point that if you want to try Shivam Dubey, now's the time that you can try him at number six. But I don't think that this Sri Lankan team's fast bowling is any nearer to the Aussies or the African pace bowling lineup. So will that provide you a good picture even if Shivam Dubey hits those pacers? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Advait makes a good point there that you can try him for this series, but he says that it's not a long term option because he won't be successful against the big teams. So, yeah, that is the point. I think the Rinku Singh point is spot on again. I think he was part of the South Africa ODI series, which India played, where Sanju Samson got his maiden ODI century. And I don't know why again he's dropped. They could have selected him instead of Rian Parag, but I think the fact that Rian Parag bowls, but again he's not a all rounder. He does bowl, but he's not an all rounder. So I'm surprised that Rinku Singh is not part of that ODI squad as well. Shabby, I think the batting coach, the ex batting coach Vikram Rathod or Paras Mamre, the bowling coach, said that he sees Rinku Singh as an all format player because his average in the Ranji Trophy or the first class cricket for India, for first class cricket in India, is above 50. We have seen that he has done an extremely great job as a T20I finisher, and he had a pretty good knock against South Africa in the ODIs as well, if I remember correctly. So somewhere down the line, do you think Rinku Singh in the ODI squad might be the way to go forward?
But
Instead,
he's not a
say
left-handed.
he's also a left-handed batter instead of a Riyan Parag or a Shivam Dube.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, the spot definitely suits him, the number six spot there that we were talking about. And if he really has a good record in domestic circuit as well, that he is able to play a big innings of 50, 60, 70, then definitely he deserves the spot. And not sure why then selection committee didn't think of it right now only in this particular series. Why Riyan Parag or why Shivam Dube was preferred over that? But yeah, at least for Shivam Dube, we know that he can ball as well and can be effective bowler in ODIs, maybe 3, 4 overs, which are less important. He can ball in between. So, okay, I mean, Shivam Dube is understood, but yeah, definitely he could have given the chances in place of Riyan Faraz. And he could have tried as well at number six. But I feel the punt factor is more important here, that they just want to pick punt and ignore whatever else is there.
Yeah. Otherwise, being a CSK fan, there is also another point to discuss because we are not sure whether that guy has been removed or he's been rested. Ravindra Jadeja announced his T20I retirement after Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, but he's not part of the ODI squad, which is a bit of a surprise. We are not sure whether it's a rest or whether he has been dropped because Washington Sundar has been picked. What do you make of it? Is it a rest or he's been dropped with the Champions Trophy coming up?
I guess it's pretty obvious that Ravindra Jadeja has been dropped because if Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are playing,
Mhm.
you can't just say that we are giving rest to Ravindra Jadeja.
Mhm.
Because if you are giving rest, because if you are not giving rest to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, then you can't just give rest to Ravindra Jadeja because he had not done anything of that noticeable importance in the T20I World Cup that he needed rest. He should have played because there are just six ODIs before the Champions Trophy, and if you're not playing three of those, and considering the way Akshar Patel is playing, he is batting better than Ravindra Jadeja. He's bowling better than Ravindra Jadeja at this point of time. So it's pretty obvious, and especially the way Gautam Gambhir thinks, I guess it might be the end of road for Ravindra Jadeja if only if Akshar Patel does not perform in these six ODI matches, I guess then there's a chance for Ravindra Jadeja to come back directly in the Champions Trophy. Otherwise, I don't see Ravindra Jadeja playing. I guess it would be Akshar Patel, a toss-up between Akshar Patel and Washington Sundar to play for that spin bowling all-rounder role.
Shabby would definitely would like to come in here. Shabby, your thoughts? That's a big statement from Advait. He's saying that we might not see Ravindra Jadeja playing in the Champions Trophy if Aksar keeps performing the way he does or the way he has been performing in the last couple of years. Your thoughts? Is it what he's saying? Is it the same for
I
you?
mean, it will be difficult for me to admit that because of my bias, but I mean, but yeah, I mean, I have to agree that Akshar Patel absolutely outclassed Ravindra Jadeja, at least in that World Cup. And all the, I mean, no, if not fielding much, but definitely outperformed him in bowling and batting both. And that's what is needed right now in ODI squad as well. That we need stability, we need consistent performances. That Akshar is able to deliver now. Talking about bowling, they are comparable, or maybe somewhat. Akshar is definitely a better bowler in white ball cricket than Jadeja. So in that aspect, there is obviously a clear choice of Akshar. So, I mean, yeah, I agree that the days are difficult right now for Ravindra Jadeja. He has to make comeback in somewhat chances that he will get maybe through tests or maybe something else, that if at all he wants to come back in the ODI squad. I don't remember clearly his performances in the ODI World Cup last year about bowling and batting. I guess he was good enough in bowling
Yeah,
and
he picked
batting.
up a 5 wicket haul against South Africa on that turning track at Eden Gardens. He was good against Australia in the opening game, picked up 3 key wickets. Steve Smith, Marnus Lauskagne, and Alex Carey had a couple of good cameos, batted well against New Zealand as well with Virat Kohli in the league game, not in the semi final. He didn't get to bat in the semi final. But yeah, in most of the games, he wasn't getting to bat, obviously, because Kohli was getting a century, Iyer was getting a century, Rahul was getting a 50. So Jadeja didn't get to bat, but as much as he did well. With the ball, he was decent, as I said, a crucial 5 wicket all against South Africa and a really important wickets against Australia as well. And he wasn't like he had a bad World Cup or anything. But I think, yeah, I mean, Aksar, you could say that is been performing better. So you think they they are looking at Aksar, but I'm a bit
And
surprised
the,
by what.
the, the
Yeah,
ability
yeah,
of
Shabi.
Akhtar, which he has just proved that he can come up the
Mm.
order also whenever
Yeah.
needed, just to save
Mhm,
your main batsmen and
mhm.
still perform. And I guess that ability has generated in higher in the preference order than Jadeja, because Jadeja is failed doing that.
Yeah,
I guess that's the great point because in our top five there's no one who bats lefty who's a
left-handed.
left-hander.
Yeah, yeah,
So Akshar Patel coming at suppose at number four, that gives the flexibility to Team India. That if there's a left-handed option available, because even at number six there would be Hardik Pandya.
yeah,
So our only left-handed option comes at number seven, either if
yeah.
it's Washington Sundar or Akshar Patel or Ravindra Jadeja. So that gives a pretty clear edge to Akshar Patel, considering that he can come at even at number four. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's a
yeah. I
good.
think among these three which you mentioned, Aksar is the only guy who can come in at number four. I mean, Jadeja can technically, but he hasn't been promoted in the ODI format. Even in the T20I format, we saw that Aksar was promoted and he did what he did in that final 47 of 31, deserved to get a 50. Unfortunately, got run out by his own mistake. But Shabby also, we will get to the first probable 11s and then we will discuss the appointment of Abhishek Nair and Ryan Tendos Kate and Shah Rukh Khan as the BCCI owner. And also, we might see Sunil Narayan come to the Indian team, is what we discussed last week as well. But yeah, first choice 11 in the T20 squad. I will just go through what I think and then you can change it if you want. I think Gill and Jaiswal to open, that's pretty much certain. The wicket keeper will bat at number 3. I think Pant will keep his spot as of now. So Rishabh Pant at 3. Surya Kumar Yadav, the captain, at number 4. You will have either of Rinku Singh or Shivam Dubey. Probably Rinku Singh at number 5. I'm not sure. Hardik Pandya at number 6. That is interchangeable. The numbers are interchangeable, but I think this is your top 6. Aksar at 7. Washington Sundar at 8. Ravi Bishnoy, your third spinner, at 9. And the two pacers, Arshdeep and Siraj, is what I'm looking at as the first choice 11. Do you have any changes in that, Advait or Shabby?
I guess Dubey will play over Ringu Singh just because
Okay.
he was playing in the World Cup, and
Mhm.
he did pick a couple of wickets in the Zimbabwe tour also.
Zimbabwe series, yeah.
Yes, he was the man of the match in the last match. So removing a player who had the man of the match, it's not new. It's not something new for the Indian team. But I guess he would be given a bit more chances because before he's dropped. So I guess Shivam Dubey makes it ahead of Rinku Singh,
Shivam Dubey
especially
instead of
on the
Rinku
slow
Singh. Yeah.
pitches of Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Makes sense. They will be spinners throughout the middle overs. So
Yes.
Shivam Dubey can bat at number 5 then, and Hardik at 6. Shabby, you have any changes?
I mean, Shivam Dubey had, I mean, not a very good World Cup, I would say. Just that they were pushing him, and they just wanted to, they don't wanted to change the squad as much during the World Cup. That's why he kept pushing, and they kept giving him chances till the end. But based on the World Cup performances, I don't think Shivam Dubey deserves a spot in the ODI, in the T20 squad, because if you have Hardik Pandya, then actually you don't need him, and you still want a better finisher there below Hardik or with the Hardik Pandya. So I think Riku Singh deserves the chances now. At least 3 matches he deserves, and let's see what happens. Then you can again compare both of them and decide later. But Rinku Singh does deserve a chances because that was again very bad on his side that he was not picked in the World Cup squad.
Yeah. All depends on the ex KKR mentor. Gautam Gambhir might just pick the KKR player Rinku Singh. You never know. Let's come to the ODI first 11. I think we discussed the top five looks unquestionable with Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, and KL Rahul. Number six, I think it might be Rishabh Pant, is what Advait is saying. We will stick with Rishabh Pant as of now. Aksar at 7. Uh, who is 8, 9, 10, 11? Two pacers I would go in with Siraj and Arshdeep, and the India Kuldeep will play. So that's, and there is one spot remaining, which can go to Washington Sundar if they need an extra spinner, or it might go to Khalil Ahmed if they need an extra pacer. So that would be debatable, but apart from that, I think it's pretty straightforward. Do you agree with me, Shabby?
I mean, I just had one question: why Mukesh Kumar is suddenly missing from all these squads?
So the clip which he had of Jai Shah has now been deleted. So the fact that he now is not getting selected in any of the squads because he was the only all format player for India a while ago.
Yeah,
And he performed well in Zimbabwe series, Zimbabwe tour also.
He did.
He
He
was
did.
picking wickets.
He did.
So
yeah.
He did.
He's been
See,
really
again, the
performing
Gautam
well.
Gambhir effect. The last name in the ODI is called Harshit Rana. The Gautam
yes,
Gambhir effect is well and
It's
truly
too
here.
much. Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
much. Yes, yes, yes. The new quota has been started finally after my quota
KKR
and
quota.
CSC quota. We have a KKR quota finally.
Yeah, let's see how he goes. But yeah, just to end this discussion, we have just 4 minutes remaining before we end this stream. So Gautam Gambhir obviously is the head coach, as we discussed. Abhishek Nair and Ryan Doskate will travel to Sri Lanka. Shabby, I think Abhishek Nair is a great appointment from what I've heard. Even all the KKR players, in fact, Varun Chakravarti and Venkatesh Iyer have come out in public and said that he has made a huge impact to this KKR side. So I think Abhishek Nair is a really great appointment there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, Abhishek Nair was needed, and I know Gambhir did ask for many other names that were with him as a support staff.
Yeah.
The Ranjit Duskata was surprised because of the fact that Indian leadership was always adamant on Indian coaches and Indian support staff, but not sure how Gambhir convinced them to have one overseas coach, overseas support staff there. But Abhishek Nair is definitely good. And just to talk about now, like what is pending now, which support staff is pending to be announced then? Bowling coach.
Bowling coach is remaining. From what I've heard, Morny Morkel's name is being considered. Fielding coach will remain same. So T. Dilip, who made all those videos and the fielding medals, is going to remain as the fielding coach, is what I
And
heard.
then
And
what is the designation for Duskate?
I don't know, he's just the assistant coach.
Morning was
Abhish
another KKR quota, right?
Yeah, again, KKR coach. See, Gambhir is the head coach.
So
You have
yes,
a fielding coach. You're waiting for the bowling coach. Let's consider Abhishek Nair as the batting coach. I'm not sure what is Ryan Tendon in Doskate, but I read that he has been appointed and will travel to Sri
So
Lanka.
he asked for Lakshmipati Balaji, I guess.
As
Again, he
well
was
as the
KKR
bowling
quota.
coach. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vinay Kumar's name also I heard. So let's see.
all
Uh,
from KKR quota.
yeah, and
Yes.
I think they have also got Sunil Narayan as the throwdown specialist.
Nice. I guess going forward, it won't be surprising either if either of Venkatesh Iyer or Varun Chakravarti makes the squad
Yeah,
for
I
a
was
T20.
surprised
Yeah.
that Chakravarti didn't make the squad. Yeah,
He
the
will. He
T20
will
squad.
going forward. Yes, he
Yeah,
will do.
he did extremely well this IPL over the last couple of seasons. He just had one bad season, if I remember correctly. So yeah, Chakravarti is one of the guys who might get a place later on, as Advait
Yes.
mentions. But yeah,
I guess Iyer will be what the one replacing Dubey in the squad going forward.
Venkatesh Iyer, you mean?
Yes.
And the
Iyer
Iyer
will be there.
Bros. Yeah, the Iyer Bros. That is a great combination. But yeah, interesting times for the Indian team ahead with Gautam Gambhir's appointment as the head coach. He will take on in the Sri Lanka series. At the same time, we are also awaiting the retention rules for IPL because the Mumbai Indians are now in some trouble with three different captains in three different formats. One in the Mumbai Indians cap, one in the T20I side, and one in the ODI side. So who gets retained? And in all that, does Jasprit Bumrah go for 32 crore in the IPL auction? Is what the important question is. So Mumbai looking forward to that as well. Does LSG retain KL Rahul? Who is the new RCB captain if Faf du Plessis is not retained? A lot of
Is
questions,
even
and
fund gonna be released by the DC management.
that's what
There were
I've
rumors.
heard as well. That's the
Yes.
rumors going around with Ricky Ponting leaving. Rishabh Pant might be released from the Delhi Capitals camp, and then CSK might get the
So
new
Akshar
captain.
Patel will be their captain and then
Akshar
DC
Patel
captain.
might lead Delhi Capitals. You never know who's going where. Let's wait and watch for the retention rules, because that decides whether MS Dhoni plays another season or not. That's it for today. Thank you very much, Advait and Shabby, for joining. Shabby and Advait both making some really, really important points on Gautam Gambhir and the Indian cricket team. As we talk, England have got a 50 plus run lead, 63 to be precise. And as Advait and me discussed, I think they are on the way to that 350 400 before they declare tomorrow after lunch. Let's see. We will be back
Instead of
next week.
5.5.
Yes, next week we'll be back for the Sri Lanka series once the matches start, and we will discuss in depth what Gautam Gambhir's reactions are. Thank you very much. Do like, share, and subscribe.